How's it going, guys? Dustin here. Just figured I'd watch this quick video on what's going on Twitch. Not that I watch Twitch anymore. Over the last couple of years, I kind of veered away from that shit show in general. But, my kids are slowly going to be starting to hit the age here where they start getting into the social media and hitting these Twitch streams and these kick streams and stuff like that. The 5-year-old already knows who Mr. Beast is. By the way, I have two boys, 5 and 3. Just wanted to go over Asmongold's video here real quick. He goes on to talk about how, this shit's okay and it's not that big of a deal, and he looks at it like a W, and it kind of came off weird to me when he went on to say that anime girls of questionable age were prepubescent. But I believe that that was a fraudulent slip for him, because after hearing his take on this, I think he very likely has jerked off to girls that were animated that might have been pubescent, as in over the age of 13 or 14. That's why he referred to off the menu as anime girls of questionable age, and then referred to them as prepubescent. What about girls that are 13 to 18? Is that okay? Is it okay to draw girls that are 13 to 18? Because you only mentioned in here 9-year-old girls, Asmongold, Zach. It's a little fucked up that you're okay with this. Now, if you want to jerk off to fucking anime chicks, there are 1,000 different websites out there that you can fucking jerk your little meat to, right? But there's only one website. Speaking of kids, what's up, baby? No, I don't have any more chips. Go see mom. Go see mom. Dad's making a video, buddy. Trust me, for your own sake. Go see mom. Go see mom. There are 1,000 websites out there where you can jerk your little meat to, buddy. And anyone else who agrees with this that doesn't have kids, who has no bone to pick with this, excuse the pun, you don't have kids, so you're not a part of the conversation here, right? You don't know what it's like to have children. Anyone saying, oh, it's just those weirdos who don't want to see, girls, get their, comeuppance and whatnot. Girl power, yeah. Asmongold, you were dating basically a hooker, right? She wasn't a hooker, she was more like a porn star, but it's pretty much the same fucking thing. One's paid for it on video, one's not paid on video. Either way, the fact of the matter is you don't have a dog in the fight, man. None of you people that don't have kids, especially young girls, have a dog in the fight. Luckily, I have 2 boys. Now let's go over this bullshit content that they say is okay. First of all, let's go to the just chatting that I have popped up, right? You go to browse, right? As soon as you go to twitch.tv, it pops you in here or something, right? Let's go to just chatting. If I'm a new account, this is the first thing I'm going to see under just chatting. What if you're telling me that by allowing this type of content, what are kids going to think? That this shit is okay? Is this okay? Kids emulate what they see, right? So by seeing this on a very popular platform like Twitch, you're allowing kids to think that this type of shit is okay. If you're a young woman growing up, I raised a 13-year-old girl until she was 18, right? I couldn't fucking imagine having to raise one now when this is the type of shit I would have to worry about them growing up to become. Thinking about, oh, this is okay for them. Luckily, she didn't grow up to be that way. But the fact of the matter is kids emulate. You don't want them growing up seeing this type of content and seeing that it is okay. And why is it okay? Well, it's at the top of the list. It's right at the top. And guess what? It's recommended for me. Which is weird, because if you expand my thing here, the only followed channels I have are gaming channels. Right? Gaming channels. I've never once looked at none of these streams here. I never fucking looked at anyone else's stream really, other than these people here that mostly stream old school RuneScape and New World, right? But it just so happens that I click on just chatting, and under the recommended for me, it's all these naked bitches, right? With all due respect to these females that are trying to make $1, you have no moral fucking compass. There are a million other websites out there. Twitch is mostly made up of young people under the age of 18. If you look at their analytics, I bet you that over 50% of their fucking base is under the age of 18. Without a doubt in my mind. Why is this all of a sudden recommended for me? If I click on viewers high to low, these women don't fucking pop up here. Oh look, it's Asmongold chatting probably about the same thing. One girl does, another one does. But the point is the top of the list when it comes to recommended for me is all these half-naked broads. Now, if I'm a 15-year-old girl or a 15-year-old boy or a 13-year-old boy or a 17-year-old boy or girl, it doesn't matter what age. Underage is underage. They shouldn't be seeing this shit and thinking it's okay. So, excuse me, I have a cold. So I dug into their policy, right? At what age can you stream on Twitch? 13 years old, you can stream on Twitch. Right there's their terms of service. It says you can stream. Your Twitch services aren't available if you're under 13. Not like you couldn't just lie on the account when you started it and say you were over 13. Next. What's it take to make an account? Well, here it is, right? Basically, just verifying who you are. How do they verify that? They can't verify your age. They don't verify your age. There is no way to verify your age. When I made my Twitch account like 10 years ago or 8 years ago, it never made me verify my age or anything like that. I don't even think it did until I became a partner. Okay? So, any kid can just lie and say they're 18 and get access to that shit, even if it was put behind an 18-year-old, are you 13 or are you 18? Like, we all haven't played a video game that required you to be over 15 to play or whatever. Next, let's dig into their adult sexual violence and exploitation policy. Acts of sexual violence. For example, you may not show, promote, or engage in non-consensual sex acts. What about consensual sex acts? It should also say that here. It says that over in another area, which should be under here as well, but it doesn't. You have to click on 7 menus to figure out where you're at. Sorry, I have a kid playing in the background, but this is the life of a parent, ladies and gentlemen, which most of you will not understand until you have your own kids. Next, let's look at youth safety. Did I have that pulled up? Yeah, so you can't have any of this shit on here, right? It doesn't say anything about being underage and strip teasing. Let's talk about youth safety here, right? Sexual explicit content or sexually images of youth. Well, what about strip teasing? It says here, it said in this list when I was scrolling down through here, or at the very top of it, that it was going to give me examples of shit. Well, now it says strip teasing is okay. So does that mean a 13 to 18-year-old can strip tease? I don't fucking know. Wouldn't it be ironic if a 15-year-old all of a sudden starts to strip tease down to a bathing suit or extremely skimpy clothes because they now allow strip teasing and shots to the groin? What about 13 to 15 to 18-year-olds doing yoga workouts? Because now, according to their policy, which I'll get to, you're allowed to wear yoga pants and holding split positions with a camera pointed toward your fucking groin. Isn't it a little weird that we're all of a sudden allowing all this type of shit? Once it's allowed, then it's not allowed. Once it's allowed, just don't allow it. There's a million other sites for that. We don't need it on Twitch. But that's fine. Let's have 15-year-old girls start early, right? Instead of, going to high school and stuff like that, doing really good in high school, doing some college courses to get some college credits early. Instead, they just go to Twitch. They start getting their OnlyFans fan base ready so that way when they turn 18, they can start getting naked for money because they just primed their fan base for 2 or 3 years to get them ready. You guys have no fucking clue what you're talking about when you're allowing this type of shit and you're okay with it. You have no clue. You don't have kids. You have no room to fucking speak, right? So that's it with and then you talk about, oh well, it defines it as sexually explicit content or sexually sexualized images. Sorry, I've had a cold for 3 days, but this really fucking pissed me off. It defines it as sexually explicit, right? But you're allowing sexual images and shit like that, themes, here. I don't know if it's against the company policy now to have underage girls wearing extremely skimpy clothes playing video games. Like I've seen a million of these women do when it was banned that you couldn't have extremely low-cut shit there for a while. They had a little box up in the corner window of the video game they were playing, and the whole fucking screen was them with their cleavage sticking out, wearing slightly unbannable clothing. Now, it was okay for that, so what's it say that a 15 to 18-year-old girl or a 13 to 18-year-old girl isn't okay with this? Back to his thing of anime girls of questionable age. What does that mean, Asmongold? What does that mean, Twitch? Does questionable age mean under the age of prepubescent, or from prepubescent to pubescent? So between the ages of 11 and newborn, not allowed. But pubescent, as Asmongold kindly pointed out, the prepubescent. So I'm going to go with Asmongold's take on it. Pubescent from 13 to 18 must be okay, right? Because it's not in here, and he never mentions any of these things that I'm talking about because he wouldn't think about it. Because why? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Asmongold, like many of you fucking people, have no clue what it's like to be a parent to be concerned about this. I saw in here somebody complaining that, oh, all these freaking parents are just lazy. Even Asmongold brought it up. Oh, you're lazy, you're not taking care, you're not watching what your kids are doing. So you want me to go through you want me to work 40 to 60 hours a week. You want us to come home, you want us to take care of business of the house, pay all the bills, do the laundry, do the cleaning, fucking make food, do grocery shopping, get appointments ready, do all this other shit for the kids, make sure their homework's done, and all. Oh, by the way, on top of that, before you can sleep your 3 hours a night or whatever that's required, because you have to do all this extra shit, you also have to make sure that the Twitch streams that they're watching are okay. Fuck you guys. You have no idea what it's like to be a functioning adult. You have no idea what it's like to have kids. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about when you bring this shit up. You have no fucking... There's no reason that you should be thinking this way at all. Because it makes no sense. You have no idea what it's like. So, let's get away from that. Let's go to this whole... for example, things that are now allowed. For example, you may not show, offer, or promote any of this shit. No masturbation, thank God. No oral, thank God. Obvious shit right here. No bodily fluids, thank God. No consensual sexual violence. No flogging, none of that. I completely agree with all this as well. None of this should be in here. But none of this shit should be in here either. The fact that it's allowed in here just opens up a whole other Pandora's box, right? Let's talk, for example, a little bit about this, what they're allowed to have. You're allowed to wear yoga pants and hold a split position. What do you think that is? Daydreaming doesn't come to mind? Why would anyone want to watch that? Obviously, they're getting off on it. And Twitch is okay with it. Okay, fine. But there are a million other websites like that. Okay, fine. But Twitch's primary user base is under the age of 18. That's weird. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Run the ads. Run the ads. Run the ads. You know, it's kind of fucked up to me, too, that places like X or Twitter have this boycott advertisement shit, right? PewDiePie says the N-word, and he gets the adpocalypse comes, right? But you have this shit clearly targeted at consenting adults showing half-naked sexualized shit on a website that's primarily used by underage boys and girls. Get fucked, Twitch. Get fucked. Body writing on body art on buttocks and breasts are okay for a female presenting person. We all know that painting a breastplate on your chest during a superhero body art stream isn't going to be what it actually is. They're doing it plain and simple because the core reason they're doing it is to sexualize themselves and get views for it and get that money for it. That's what they're doing it for. No one that's actually doing that shit in an artistic sense is going to actually record it. And the amount that is so slim to none that it wouldn't be an issue. The reason it's an issue is because these fucking people, mostly females, who are under the age of 30, mostly between 27 and 18 years old, realize that they can make a quick dollar or two on these people who literally are just signing up to the website and handing them money for sexual content. Or getting these, backdoor deals. Oh, what's your OnlyFans page? Oh, don't tell me on Twitch because they'll ban me otherwise. Here's my link to a Discord. I'll PM you. Here's a link to a Discord that's linked to my Discord where my OnlyFans is actually linked. Get fucked, man. I've been rambling now for about 16 minutes on this, and it's really only the start. But most of you get the gist by now. And if you don't, you're so fucking blind to it and have no idea what it's like to be an actual parent and be concerned about these things that it hasn't hit you yet. And the fact of the matter is most of you, if you're at the age of 30 to 40 years old, aren't going to have kids to worry about it. So what's it matter to you, right? It doesn't matter to you. This whole moral compass, right? None of you have it anymore. The moral compass is gone. It died 10 years ago. And we progressively moved the needle more and more and allowed this line in the sand to be a little bit edgier, a little bit edgier, a little bit edgier. And now all of a sudden it's no big deal. Where the top fucking thing on Twitch, when I go to browse, is just chatting live in this just chatting section is this. And if you think this shit is going to stop in the just chatting, you're crazy. 3 months ago, after all this shit was banned, I was browsing old school RuneScape. And this girl in old school RuneScape had her giant titties hanging out, right? Massive cleavage, had a face mask on because apparently she was, feeling some kind of way either about people knowing who she was in real life, what she was seeing her doing that for money, or she was worried about how her face looked, and she knew that if she showed her face, she would either get people hating on her that knew her in real life, or get people talking poorly about the way her physical face looked, instead of talking about her giant massive breasts, which is apparently the only thing she had to offer, since the screen of RuneScape was so tiny in it that you could barely see what she was doing. She was under the old school RuneScape category, but you could barely see what was going on there. It was just a giant fucking webcam image of her tits just massive out here, right? But she was labeled in old school RuneScape. That is what's next on the list, is all these mostly female streamers edging closer and closer to that line. All you're doing is drawing that line a little bit more for a couple of them to overstep and be like, oh, I got banned because I let a nip slip. The next thing you know, it'll be girls like this, right? Girls like this, right here. Right here. This redhead, and this one here, and this one here, and this one here, who have a tiny little image in the upper left-hand corner of them playing the video game that is most viewed, right? The most viewed video game. And it's just in the upper left-hand corner, a little box. And this is all that you see, is them with their tits hanging out, nude, thinking that this is okay. And all of a sudden a nip slips by chance. Or they get a little edgier, right? And they cross over the line of what's allowed and what's not allowed. They get banned for it. And then they throw their arms up. Oh, well, I didn't fucking know. I didn't fucking know. You fucking knew and you did it anyways. Then more of them will do it, and before you know it, all the girls are up in arms. Oh,
Oh, and Twitch. Oh, we're so sorry, Twitch female streamers. We're so sorry. We'll draw that line a little bit more. Fuck you, Twitch. And you know what? Fuck you, Zachar. As big as your fan base is, and the good thing that I saw about this is a lot of comments in here had mentioned the fact that you were wrong, that your take on this is wrong. And I'm glad people are speaking up for it, because a majority of your fan base are a bunch of people like you with no kids who are in your 30s, or underage people who have no ambition or desire to be a true adult yet, and to have and bear kids and to raise children. You have no idea what it's like. You have no room to speak. Please shut the fuck up. So again, fuck you, Twitch, and fuck you, Zachar, and fuck you, anyone who agrees with him. Peace. I'm out.